This is not to move us, get us to feel like a drama. There are some elements of it being scary, but I don't see this as being all about suspense. But I do think the goal of this is to make us think.
Yeah.
You know, there's a message here that the writer director, they're trying to convey. You know, what's the point of the movie? And I think it was to make us think about something. And you guys can process that. I have my own ideas about what it is, but I'm not going to tell you. But, you know, I think in Theater of the Absurd, it's a little tricky, you know, because this is not like a funny scene. And there can be scenes in Theater of the Absurd that are not necessarily that funny. But in Theater of the Absurd, you cannot slip into drama. Okay? So it doesn't become a whole different style. So in the back of your head, you still should kind of have a little bit of a basic joke there.
Oh.
You know, and, you know, it's not that we're laughing hard, but there is some comedic bend to the scene. You know what I'm saying? Is it's like not as important as like a typical farce scene, or even a big broad comedic scene in a Theater of the Absurd movie, because this particular scene is not that funny. But in the back of your head, you should kind of think a little bit about if there was anything funny about it. It's disturbingly funny. You know, it's sort of like, you remember Ray, you and I were sort of exchanging texts about Dr. Strangelove?
Yeah.
So if you look at a movie like that, when like the general is talking and he's lost his mind and he's got a cigar, you know, it's tragic. But there is a comedic sensibility to those scenes. So you almost have to kind of find it a little bit here. So if there was anything funny about it, not huge funny, but if there was anything kind of quirky or disturbingly funny about it, think a little bit about that. Okay, and then you also have to think a little bit about the point of the scene, like why the author put this scene in this script. What was the point of it? What was the author thinking about when they wrote this scene? Is this sort of the setup for where you're going to crack, David?
Yes, I did think about that part of why this scene is in there. I think it's definitely we've seen he's not right, but he's certainly not like this, you know, psychomaniac yet.
Yeah.
And I think that this is the tipping point. This is what breaks it.
I mean,